We're here today to celebrate the groundbreaking of 1633 Valencia. We're going to talk a little bit about it, but this is the continuation of an effort that has involved the city of San Francisco, the San Francisco Housing Accelerator Fund, Mercy Housing, and many others that we'll talk about in a little bit, to really try and do something different, to try to innovate in the space of affordable housing and homelessness as we work really hard to try and figure out how to accelerate the work that we're doing in the arena of affordable housing and homelessness. So the speakers will talk more about it, but it is a great day to be out here in the sun, to be celebrating the opportunity to build 145 apartments and homes for formerly homeless seniors, or seniors that will soon to be formerly homeless. So very glad you could join us today. None of this work would really be possible without the support of a mayor who has a vision for a city that is compassionate, relies on innovation, focuses on getting things done faster, is impatient with the status quo, and desperately wants to solve the problems that are facing our city and has acted with the urgency associated with those emotions. So this is probably our 50th or something like that event during her time as mayor, and before that as a supervisor and a commissioner. And it's always a pleasure to be able to introduce the mayor of our city, London Breed.
Well, Doug, we might have done a number of groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings and opportunities like this in the past, but this one is different. And the reason why this one is different, let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, we cut the ribbon for, I think it was 100 or 120 units of family housing on Mission Street in the South of Market neighborhood. And from the time we cut that ribbon, when the first family moved in, to the time we identified that project and that property, it took 10 years. It took 10 years to go through a process and appeals and drama and mayhem for the first family to move in. And the biggest difference between that project and this one, it took 1 year. I want to put that into perspective because we have been working to get rid of red tape and bureaucracy and obstruction and drama to get projects like this done. And I want to appreciate Senator Scott Wiener for SB 35 and now SB 423, because if the laws are on the books, if the height is already on the books, if all the requirements are part of our laws already, it's as of right. No obstruction, no drama, no mess, and all it does is present opportunities like the one we're experiencing today. An opportunity to break ground and get this housing built as quickly as possible to get people off the streets, especially our seniors, into housing like this, which would provide a chance at a new life. Opportunities like this should not have to wait because of bureaucracy. And now we are finally starting to see change. Rebecca, you came to me a year ago, and look at what we're doing right now. And today, I know we're officially announcing the Bay Area Housing Innovation Fund, because this is exactly what a public-private partnership looks like when it's done right. Having people who are willing to invest the money on the front end, willing to make projects like this happen faster so that we can get people indoors. This is a game changer. And more importantly, we will be getting people into this housing through our coordinated entry system and prioritizing people who are part of the mission community. It's housing done right. It's housing of the future. It's housing of opportunity. And I want to thank Mercy Housing and Doug Shoemaker for his extraordinary leadership and being a great partner with the city for so many affordable housing units throughout San Francisco. Over $1 billion investment since I've been in office to help produce more affordable housing, despite the high interest rates, despite the challenges with housing production. We have still gotten thousands of affordable housing units built and occupied by people who need it the most. I want to thank Mission Action, the National Equity Fund, and I want to thank some incredible partners, including Rebecca with the Housing Accelerator Fund, because she has been an invaluable partner in the work that we need to get done. And I want to thank some of our new partners who are helping to make this possible: Sobranto, Philanthropies, Destination Home, and Apple. Thank you so much for believing in San Francisco. Thank you so much for investing in San Francisco. And thank you again for investing in opportunities for the future. When we build more housing, this is what makes the difference. Building more homes, not just for those who are struggling with homelessness and mental illness and substance use disorder, but providing wraparound services to ensure that they stay housed and stay on the right track. That is what we do in San Francisco. And that is why I am proud we've increased our permanent supportive housing stock by over 50%. And this has taken us to a whole nother direction. And this is the future of housing production in our city. Thank you all so very much for being here today.
Thank you much, Mayor Breed. And I want to just take a moment to thank some of the partners we have with the city of San Francisco. I see Ann Romero over there, Holly Faust, our wonderful partners at HSH, Gigi Whitley, Shereen McSpadden, and others. Just makes it so much easier when you have partners that are working as hard as you to try and get things done. And we were meant to be joined today by Supervisor Hillary Rona. I know her aide Anna is here. The supervisor was called away for urgent business, but she's been a big supporter of this effort and many others. And I see Lydia Ely, so I want to also thank her on behalf of the Mayor's Office of Housing. So great team from the city that's partnering to make this done. The mayor has already alluded to the tremendous energy and enthusiasm and will that Rebecca brings to her work at the San Francisco Housing Accelerator Fund, along with Jan and other folks on that team. It's really made a giant difference in the short period of time that the Housing Accelerator Fund has existed, to just see exactly why it plays such a critical role in its name, just making the work that we're trying to do go faster, pushing the innovation out harder. And if you know Rebecca Foster and the team there, you've no doubt why it occurs. I have rarely run into someone with as much energy as Rebecca, but it is always, joined by this wonderful sense of calm and confidence that you're going to get things done. And I think it makes projects like this so easy to do. So with that, I want to bring up just a tremendous partner and somebody who's making a huge difference in the lives of folks in the Bay Area, and that's Rebecca Foster.
Thanks, Doug. And I am going to apologize in advance if my remarks run a little long. I do have a lot of energy and enthusiasm about this project, but I will finish before the building's done, barely. So in less than 18 months, this parking lot will be gone, and 145 San Franciscans will move into their own comfortable, sunny studio apartments. I just want to lift up for a minute how we got here today. First, by clearly committing to our priorities of speed and cost effectiveness. Second, by saying yes to the risks required to deliver on this shared vision. This vision proves that even in San Francisco's high-cost center, we can deliver quality homes at scale in less than 3 years and for under $550,000 per home. We say yes because the risk of saying no is not bearable by our communities in this crisis. All of our project partners share this vision, born from both frustration and hope. Too often, we navigate dozens of building requirements, as the mayor referenced. She's breaking down those barriers, but also funding sources, dozens and dozens of funding sources before construction can even begin. The complexity of our affordable housing system creates noise and static, but we hear our top priority loud and clear: deliver more homes where people can thrive urgently. Being crystal clear on this urgency is key to solving our housing and homelessness crisis. So today, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the many partners who share this vision and say yes over and over again to prioritizing what matters, pairing that hope with perseverance. So thank you to Sequoia Living, Sarah, Dave, and your Risk Forward Proactive Board for saying yes to tying up this perfect site for affordable housing for older adults in the Mission well before any public funding was identified. Thank you, Dolores Street Community Services, for centering us on who this building is for and ensuring that we can say yes to welcoming our Latinx and American Indian communities experiencing housing instability to a home in their neighborhood in the Mission. Thank you, David Baker Architects, for saying yes to scaling what works by replicating the design of Tehanan, combining comfort, privacy, efficiency, and beauty. Not every affordable housing building has to be bespoke. We are also saying yes to good jobs with good wages for local workers here in the city. Thank you, Cahill, and the rest of our amazing contractor team for your hard work building the city we are all proud to call home. And for saying, yes, let's do this again and better, and we'll up your push for innovation by a design build contract to our partners at Mercy Housing. Doug, for your leaps of faith, Claire and team for pushing through so many budgetary and scheduling miracles that Doug couldn't say no. Thank you especially to our dedicated public sector partners, Mayor Breed, Lisa Gluckstein, Shireen and Gigi from the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing, Dan, Ann, and Lydia from the Mayor's Office of Housing, Supervisor Ronan, for saying yes to tackling every challenge while blazing the trail behind us for the systems change needed to scale this model. Taking risk and prioritizing what matters most is particularly hard as a public sector leader, but our partners at City Hall did exactly that. And to our incredible funding partners for being the rocket fuel that is launching this vision into reality alongside of the city's $40 million plus in permanent funding, the tax credit investment and construction loan from our friends at National Equity and Cal Bank and Trust, Tipping Point, and Charles and Helen Schwab for funding our proof point at Tehanan, Keith Gieslin for extending your investment to see this project through construction through our Home for Good partnership with the San Francisco Foundation, and for creating what we believe is the missing piece to ensure hundreds and let's go to thousands of new homes can be delivered with urgency, our partners in the new Bay Area Housing Innovation Fund, for providing the financing certainty needed to deliver these results. Destination Home, Ray and Jen and Absentia, Sobrato Philanthropies, John, Alexa, Victoria, and Apple, Christina, and Melissa, your stellar organizations all share our sense of urgency and commitment to improving our broken housing finance system. We co-created the Innovation Fund together to say, yes, we've got your back to project teams ready to meet ambitious cost and time goals in the Bay Area. Thank you. Let's not stop at 50 million. Finally, thank you to HAF's Chief Lending Officer, Jan, for embracing risk and keeping impact at the center of all you do. And to Katie, Devin, and our former HAF teammate, Kate, for being foundational members of HAF's Hell Yes team. And happy birthday to Katie. This project is breaking ground because enough people and organizations prioritized housing our neighbors faster. Thank you all for saying yes and rolling up your sleeves alongside us.
Thanks so much, Rebecca. It's always good to hold my talking points till after Rebecca goes because she knocked off so many of the people that I have to thank. But I just want to add a couple more people. I do want to thank Claire and the team at Mercy. As Rebecca said, I tried many times to say no to this project, but somehow they always managed to push through whatever crazy request I had. So to Claire, Chris, Ramy, Samantha, Lilia, the whole team over at Mercy Housing, I want to say thanks on that front. Arash and Mark over at Cahill, very excited to be doing this project with you. Years of trust have gotten us here, as well as the team from David Baker Architects, Daniel and Juan. it helps to have done a lot of this work over and over again. I want to thank our former Mercy colleague Dave Latino over there, who has, along with his partner in crime Scott Falcone, sort of had the courage to pull the trigger on this site. It was really an exciting opportunity for us all. So, all right, in the list of longtime partners and folks that have done great work for us, is Evan here? Where is he? All right. We're going to just take a moment to call out Mr. Evan Gross. Hey, Evan, not many people know Evan invented the low-income housing tax credit shortly after completing his Olympic career. Evan's parents are here, so I got to make up a lot of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, no. Evan has been, from the day he was a deputy city attorney when I was the mayor's office of housing, it's been a wonderful friendship, and thank you so much for all the work that you do, Evan. All right. Todd, I just want to say I made a very last-minute shoe decision, which I don't make a lot of because I have a very limited wardrobe, but we would have been in the same shoes today, and I don't know what that would have meant, but just further alignment of the great work. Come on up. We do tons of work with Todd and have over the years. The National Equity Fund is one of the best partners out there. One of the reasons why we're able to do this work and continue to hold on to the work that we do and really be long-term owners is the partnership we have with Todd and the team. And if it's hard, we ask Todd. Yeah, so with
I love those calls where we got a special deal for you, Todd. So Todd Fabian, National Equity Fund, and we represent the tax credit investor for this wonderful project. And we're a very proud, long-time supporter of Mercy, decades. I think it goes back all the way 30 plus years with Mercy across the country. And tax credit investing is complicated, but when you get a team, Mercy has this ability to bring the best and brightest young project managers. And without Claire, Chris, your team getting this project done, we would not have been able to be here today. And I have my Deanna Bly over here who pretty much does all the work. So thank you, Deanna, for getting it done for us. And representing the tax credit investor, we wouldn't be here without both developers and investors. So this project is part of a multi-fund. So we have lots of different investors that put money into a multi-fund for this project. And I think we have 3 of them here. This project is special. So we have 3 investors that actually showed up. We have Neil Drum from Silicon Valley Bank, I think, is here. Alfred Pedroza from Wells Fargo, and Adam Rogers from CIBC. Thank you guys for trusting us with your $27 million to put into this project. And I think your money is going to be well spent. And with that, I think I'm done. Thank you.
all right.
Thank you. Short and sweet.
All right, I have the great pleasure of introducing John Sobrato, who is one of the great minds and I would say very relentless taskmasters and founding investors in the new Bay Area Housing Innovation Fund. John's name is widely known throughout the Bay Area. We get him up to San Francisco whenever we can for the real estate company that he built, and also for the way he models community leadership and engaged philanthropy alongside of his family and team. Sobrato Philanthropy's mission is to partner with communities to meet immediate needs, address systemic barriers, and pursue social justice to build a more equitable and sustainable world. To date, they've donated well over $500 million in pursuit of these goals. Given his long and storied career in development, John has taken a personal interest in working out the mechanics for the Innovation Fund and has been dogged about bringing down the cost and time for delivering affordable housing for longer than I've known him, I'm sure decades. And his attention to detail and sense of urgency has been absolutely instrumental in getting this pilot off the ground. John?
Well, thank you, Rebecca, and welcome you all this lovely morning. It's great to see such an engaged audience like this. I'm sure every one of you here have had some part to do with this project. I'm pleased that the Sobrato family took a leadership role about 2 years ago when we started talking to Rebecca Foster about an affordable housing fund. And it's wonderful that our partner Apple has stepped up. I've done business with Apple going back to when you first started back in the 70s. A great company, and we hope that other large companies in Silicon Valley and here in San Francisco will follow Apple's lead and contribute towards this fund. And you have to understand, it's not a grant. The loans that the particular corporation or particular foundation decides to make to this fund gets paid back, and with interest. It's going to take years, but at least it's not like you're just handing a grant and you're never going to see your money again. So we hope to increase the $50 million that we've raised so far. And I want to recognize two people on the Sobrato team that are here today. First, Alexa Caldwell, could you stand? Alexa is the president of Sobrato Philanthropies. And also the person that did all the heavy lifting, which was about a 2-year effort to put the partnership together, Victoria Fromm. Is she here? Victoria, please. Yeah, anyway, yeah, it was a great work. Nothing that I could have handled. I just didn't have the time, and Victoria did a great job. So again, thank you all for attending this morning, and hopefully we'll have a few more of these openings in the very near future.
Okay, our next to last speaker is Manny Pina, who's here with Mission Action, which is the newly reminted Dolores Street Community Services. Manny, I didn't get a chance to tell you this, but my first ever project as a junior project manager with Mission Housing back in 1912 was the renovation of the beautiful house on Richard Cohen residence on Dolores Street. So I feel a little bit of full circle moment here. And I want to bring you up and say a few words. The partnership with Mission Action is very important to us because I think one of the things we all recognize is no matter how great a system you build for trying to serve people, at the end of the day, it's relationships and connection that really make it so that people get off the street and that we are able to serve the Mission community in the way that it deserves. So, Manny.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Manny. I am the Director of Housing and Shelter Programs for formerly known Dolores Street Community Services Mission Action now. And I'm honored to celebrate this important step towards creating a more just and economically inclusive Mission District. We at Mission Action are honored to be part of an ecosystem that consistently does not shy away from the hard work necessary to build future where our neighbors can live and their life with dignity, security, and community. As many of you know, older individuals are now the fastest growing demographics facing homelessness. This insecurity often follows a lifetime of working in physically demanding industries, leaving them unable to continue to support themselves into their golden years. 1633 Valencia is a meaningful step toward alleviating the housing crisis for our older neighbors. We are grateful for the opportunity to keep our elders in the community that they've helped build and to provide them with the support and programs they need to enhance their well-being. This project is more than just bricks and mortar. It is a physical manifestation of our collective commitment to equity and justice, our love for our community, and unshakable faith that by working together, we can actually affect meaningful change. I want to take a moment to recognize the Housing Accelerator Fund and Mercy Housing for their championship on this project. We are fortunate to work within an ecosystem of skilled and committed organizational partners who are aligned with our vision. Our work is hard, but it is shared. I also want to recognize all the community leaders, advocates, and stakeholders here today who have made this possible. After weathering years of gentrification to COVID pandemic and economic and political uncertainties, the mission can still stand strong on our historic values, celebrating diversity, community, and inclusion. As a social service professional, I will be proud to support the work that will be continued on this side, and I will be proud to welcome our neighbors to their new home. Thank you all for coming, and congratulations for this achievement.
Okay, as is always the case, I forgot a couple people. So I want to thank our good friends at California Bank and Trust, which is the construction lender on this, Mark Wolf and Anton Bengtson. I want to thank Monica Yang, who they do such incredible work on every one of these. Where is Monica? Are hiding over there. Monica, thank you for everything you do for all of these. They do such an amazing job making these events possible. So, okay, two last things. One is a quick infomercial. If you walk out of this event and you already didn't know about BAFA, I will be really surprised. But we're joined here by Executive Director Kate Hartley. We've got this once-in-a-generation opportunity to pass a regional housing bond that would really, really change life forever in the Bay Area, and I think we owe it to each other to do as much as we can to that. So we're going to be collecting at the door. You can either give blood or money on your way out. You can have a choice. We also have a really unbelievable opportunity to pass a major political reform, Proposition 5, that would create a more even playing field for passing housing and infrastructure finance or funding measures that we obviously need in a state that is as behind as it is on both those two issues, but particularly from my perspective on affordable housing. So if you haven't already given or thought about how to give, please go to a website near you and get involved in some way or the other. Okay, last thing is, we talk a lot at Mercy, and I'm sure in your organizations as well, about generating future leaders and what that future leadership of our country and our communities are going to be. So we're joined today by a leader in her elementary school whose birthday it is today. And I would like her to get up on top of her chair so that we can just sing happy birthday to Micah Hurst. So I'm not a very good singer, but 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Micah. Happy birthday to you. All right, on that lovely note, enjoy. I think we have some refreshments over here, and thank you very much for everyone's support and joining us here today.